All right, Phil Striebel joins us right on time, Chief Market Strategist at Blue Line Futures. And I would say, I think, fair characterization, a crypto cynic many times, but also a fair trader, as you've traded in both directions, Phil. BTC not moving on SBF going to jail. I guess we shouldn't really expect that.
It seems like everybody's going to jail today. There was the Hunter Biden, that new news. They said that Trump,
I don't
he
know.
could still run for
I lost
president
track
in
of that
jail.
one.
And they said that 4 out of 10 people from Iowa would still vote for Trump if he was in jail. And I looked it up in 1920, Eugene Debs, he ran for president. It was 4 times while in jail. He ran under the slogan, he's vote for President Convict 9653. He got 1 million votes, so that's not bad.
Nice. So what do you trade right now, Phil? Are you trading BTC, trading crypto? Does it care about anything that happens with FTX anymore?
Bitcoin's it's essentially, it's not going away, but it's in this 4K trading range. It's been in the same range since July. It's a wait and see on whether or not they get this Bitcoin ETF. So any kind of dip is really going to be supported. I do think you'll get a squeeze higher in an initial reaction once you get the approval of that ETF, but it's just really not going anywhere. And, there's a lot of other asset classes that are weighing in it. Stronger dollar index, higher interest rates. I think you're going to park your money. It looks like you'd better get a better return on short-term treasuries than you would Bitcoin right now.
It's interesting because I feel like you could argue it either way. You could go Bitcoin stuck at 30K. That's a bad thing because people expect to make money in Bitcoin. Eventually, they might lose their patience and sell. And also stocks got within 5% of their high, and Bitcoin was 50% below it. So the kind of negative framework is that it's lost the interest of the bull buyers and risk takers. On the other hand, some people might argue that BTC not doing anything is okay. Where do you stand on that?
It does provide some stability. So, it's been such a volatile asset class. That's why I've always kind of shied away from it. You don't want to see the dollar index can't move 10% in a day like how Bitcoin can. Bitcoin can move $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in a day. And if you think it's a currency, that's not the definition of a currency, or at least any other established currency that we would trade. The dollar index sitting at 1 month highs, gold at a 1 month low. It's tough to find a place to park your money right now. The Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar, the yen, they all look very terrible. The Swiss franc, the euro, and the pound, they'll look like they're all barely just kind of holding on right now. So it is kind of a tough trade in the currency world. I think the only real action or actionable commodity right now is crude oil. You also got gasoline jumping up, having one of its best performances on the month here. It's up like 18 cents a gallon on the RBOB gasoline, but look at crude oil, it's anchored pretty firm. I think 80 is your new support level.
Okay. So the momentum and the dip buying has been more in kind of the inflation-linked assets like WTI. So then I suppose as far as the macro trade goes, you're more watching the dollar and those commodities as opposed to any real kind of insight from the higher risk, crazier stuff. Bitcoin lost its macro connections a bit.
Yeah, there's nothing really standing out there. Like I said, energy is going to be your best asset class right now. And if you start to get inflation starting to pick back up, that's where you want to have that exposure at. When you look at things like when you mentioned momentum, things like the NASDAQ and everything, well, the NASDAQ was up 36% for the first half of the year. I don't think it can match those kind of gains in the back half. And you're already seeing peaking in NVIDIA and Apple and things like that. So, we might see equities come down a bit. You might see inflation pick up, and you might have a small stagflation play. There will be some calls for the Fed to, cut rates and stuff, but they can't. As long as they achieve their soft landing goal, they probably won't cut rates.
Okay. Thanks for the convo, Phil. Have a good weekend, sir. Appreciate always a little trading chat here on a Friday. Phil Striebel from Blue Line Futures. Coming up, we've got Kathy Jones.